Hey, good morning, Pirates. It is Wednesday the 3rd, and this is the agenda for the 3rd and the 4th, A Day and B Day. Again, our objective is to be able to analyze data to support the concepts expressed by Newton's second law of motion, and we are still kind of talking about studying the motion piece. Zoom will be open today, all day. If you have questions, feel free to join us. Bell work. And so today you're going to add a slide, put today's date on it, and then copy these notes about interpreting a distance time graph. So there's a little bullet list here. Ultimately, when you're looking at a distance time graph like the one that we created using Desmos for our 4 tasks, you need to be able to interpret that graph. And so in a motion graph where you have distance on the y-axis and time on the x, the slope will equal the speed, which is distance over time, the slope of that line mathematically. A straight line would indicate a constant speed. So you can see here that if you look at segment from dot to dot, it's clearly straight, but there is a slight curve on these, which would indicate the speed is not constant if it's not perfectly straight. Higher slope equals higher speed, lower slope is lower speed, and a flat line is at rest or zero slope. And so if we had a line that went perfectly horizontal, that would indicate that there's no movement occurring. It stays at the same point in terms of its position or distance over time. If you had a really steep line, that would indicate something moving faster than a line that was not as steep. And so you need to be able to speak intelligently about the data represented on a motion graph. And then slope ultimately is vertical rise over horizontal run, or y over x. Copy those notes and then submit them. Be familiar with and ready to go back and use that as a reference as we ask you to interpret graphs in the future. Make sure you submit daily points. The second thing we're going to do today, the next activity is called basketball, volleyball, motion comparison and graphing. So when you open this, you will get the directions. It says copy the average time from the class data table. And so if you look at the class data table, it looks like this. And during class today, we will have students at different distances, and there'll be 2, hopefully if there's enough students, and those 2 students will take their times and average them to get the average time. And so this is the actual data column that you will use. And here it is for the volleyball. So this table is for the basketball. This one is for the volleyball. And you will take that data and put it into your data, which is on this Google Cloud assignment, which looks like this. And you can see the tables are similar. You're just going to put the average time from class for the basketball, then the average time for class for the volleyball. And you'll use those times and these distances to calculate speeds. Up here in this cell, you should describe how you're going to calculate speed and make sure that you are thinking correctly about the equation for speed. And then finally, you're going to use Desmos to graph these 2 data tables. So you'll have 2 lines on your graph, a line for each ball, one for the basketball and one for the volleyball. And then you'll insert your graph below your tables. Once you insert your graph, be sure that you come back and you look at my notes about graphing. Be sure to add a title and a key when you insert your graphs. And then don't forget, title should be distance time graph for the basketball volleyball comparison. Your y and x axis labels with units. Desmos does the scale for you, so that part is probably not going to be an issue. But make sure that you do have a double line graph with a key before you submit. If you get that done and you have time, please go back to the gradebook and make sure you don't have any zeros. Use your extra time to get caught up. As everything at this point is just participation, you can still turn it all in for full credit. So number 3 is get caught up, use Canvas grades. Let me know if you have any questions. Hope you have a good day. We'll see you on Friday. Bye.